Welcome back. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to talk about how I pulled out $1.2 million worth of equity doing cash out refinancing to then go buy 80 units of real estate and analyze, was it really worth it, looking in retrospect. So as I kind of mentioned, I started off my real estate journey. For those of you who are new, I started off buying single family homes in California, which I house hacked. And pretty much what I did was I'd buy a house every year and a half as a primary residence, live in the master bedroom, and rent out the other rooms. And I started buying in 2017. I bought my first one in 2017. I bought two in 2019, and I bought one in 2020. And as you can tell, this was a good time to buy real estate in retrospect. A lot of my properties appreciated well, especially during COVID when interest rates dropped and the values of the homes went up significantly because people could afford to pay more when the interest rate was like a 3 to 4%. So what I did was each of my properties appreciated roughly around $500,000 each. So I built up $2 million of equity during COVID. And what I did was I did a huge cash out refinance on multiple properties to do two things. Number one was to lower my interest rate, and then number two was to pull out a large lump sum of money, which summed up to be $1.2 million, pulled out tax free because I'm getting additional debt on properties. So, I used that $1.2 million. I put out my single family homes, and my California single family homes are, for the most part, pretty cash flow negative or breaking even. And as you can imagine, once you pull out $1.2 million of equity out, the cash flow is even less and even less, right? So I don't know how I qualified for it, but I had a good mortgage broker. I work at W-2, so that might have played a factor into that and helping me qualify for it. But in any case, I was able to qualify. I lowered my interest rate from, I think, 4% on average to around a 125 interest rate for an investment property, which is crazy, right? Like I just bought the home I'm standing in right now with a 6.5% interest rate as a primary residence, and back then I was getting 3.125% for investment property and 2.7% for a primary residence. For some context, so I basically put out $1.2 million. I used that to buy my 26 unit apartment complex, which I put in $300,000 to renovate. I used it to buy my 20 unit apartment complex, which I put in $120K to renovate, and I put in roughly around half a million to $600,000 on my mobile home park. And looking back in retrospect, fast forwarding to today, I used that $1.2 million to basically buy 80 units of real estate in an 8 month window from, I want to say, August of 2021 all the way up until May of 2022. And then from May of 2022 all the way up to November of 2023, I was focused on stabilizing my real estate and stabilizing my assets, right? So that's how I've been documenting my journey. It's been very hard, especially for those of you who are new. But now I want to look back. Well, was it worth it to do that? Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, if I pulled out, $1.2 million of equity, my single family home portfolio is cash flow negative. So, I'm probably losing around $3,000 a month on all my California real estate collectively because I put out a huge loan, number one. And number two, I'm self managing this property. So I'm not even paying a property manager. So if I was paying a property manager, I'd be even more cash flow negative. And I basically used that to buy my 26 unit. And as you know, my 26 unit was a good deal. I bought it for $500,000. I put in $300,000 to fix it up, and it's probably worth roughly around 1.5 to 1.6 million dollars now, and it cash flows very well. I think that one cash flows on average maybe about $10,000 a month. I gross around $18,000 a month, and my expenses are half that, so it's about 9K, um, and and that's including the debt service because it's stabilized. I renovate a lot of units. So that one, I do cash flow $10,000 a month. For my 20 unit, I gross roughly $9,000 a month right now, and I probably net around $2,000. So that's $12,000. And my mobile home park, for my 20 unit, I bought it for $350K. I put in about, let's just call it $150K. So I'm $500,000 all in, and it's probably worth around $8,000. So I made some equity on my 26 unit, about $800,000 equity on my 26 unit, that cash flow $10,000 a month. My 20 unit, I make $2,000 a month in cash flow, and I made about $300,000 equity. And then my mobile home park, as you guys know, I lost money in that deal. So check out that video if you want to learn more. But pretty much, I lost money in that deal, and I pretty much lost $100,000. I was never cash flowing. I sold it. I'm carrying a note on it now, and that note now pays me about $2,200 a month. So if you add up all of my investments that I bought from the $1.2 million, I'm cash flowing $10,000 for my 26 unit, $2,000 for my 20 unit, and about $2,200 from my mobile home park. So that cash flow is about $14,000 a month, right? But keep in mind, my single family real estate portfolio, because I put out so much equity out of it, it's cash flow negative $3,000 a month. So if you combine them together, I'm roughly around $10,000 a month positive. And I would say it was worth it. I mean, it's very stressful, being that leveraged, to be honest, like to pull out $1.2 million of equity, to then use that to put, basically, I think I put like 10% down on my mobile home park, which I bought for $1 million. My 26 unit I bought for $500,000, but I put 25% down on that one, plus $300,000 of renovation. And my 20 unit I bought for $350K, and I put 25% down on that one as well, and put in about $120K worth of renovations. So I did all this while working full time, and it's because of my full time job I was able to have a debt to income ratio good enough to pull out a lot of money when the interest rates were 3.125%, and it can help fund. I can fund my losses, right? So that's the beauty about W2 job and having a great credit score, but it is stressful, right? Like, it's not fun to be cash flow negative on real estate. It's not fun to, work full time, stabilize those units, So do I regret it? No. Is it hard? Yes. Very hard, very stressful. And I wouldn't go as fast looking backwards, right? In retrospect, that's probably not sustainable. So that's why I want to buy real estate more slowly when I'm ready and build more reserves in other businesses. So kind of more of the story, it was worth it for me. Did I give up a lot? Yes. Did I make a lot of sacrifice? Yes. Was there a lot of stress? Yes. Did I have less free time? Yes. Did I get more white hairs? Yes. So, it's a season of life where I was grinding, I was working hard, and now I'm in the season where I want to enjoy my cash flow. I want to sit back, relax. By relax, I just mean my W2 job, plus build up my coaching business, eventually become a real estate broker, so all these different things, right? Like, grinding and wealth building comes in seasons, right? So the past 3 years, I built my net worth up significantly to like a $6 million net worth. And now I'm slowing down a bit, but sometimes you got to slow down to speed up again, right? So the key is consistency. You want to do this long term. You want to sustain this, and you don't want to lose money, right? Like, so in all my deals, I never lost money in any of my deals besides my mobile home park. But I did a video on that, and if you factor in, like, because I lost $100,000 on this mobile home park, when I sold it, it offset my W2 income by $100,000, and I'm taxed roughly 40%. So I got back $40,000 in tax refund. So essentially, I lost $60,000. And if you look at the life of the loan, I'm getting $2,200 a month in interest payments. It's about $25K a year. So over the life of the note, I kind of break even. I just lose the opportunity cost of being able to invest this note I'm carrying, right? But relatively speaking, it came out unscathed, and that's how you build wealth, right? Like, you want to maximize your upside and mitigate your downside. And my problem during this window, my only regret was I was only focused on the upside. I never looked at the downside. But now I have a dose of reality. I've seen the upside of my 26 unit. I've seen the upside of my 20 unit, and I've seen the downside mitigation with my mobile home park, right? So it's by going through these ups and downs is what builds you as a real estate investor, as builds you as a person, as builds you as an entrepreneur, right? And you have to go through this moment. You have to go through a loss. You have to take a hit. You got to get slapped in the face in order to get clarity. And thanks to this past 3 years, I gained a lot of clarity. I gained a lot of wisdom. I gained a lot of insight. I learned about myself. I learned how I can push myself. So yeah, it's worth it, right? It's worth it for these past 3 years. But, keep in mind, I would have not been able to do this had it not been for my W-2 job. Had it not been that I had no other obligations going on, like with, kids and a family, right? So this is the time for me to take the risk. This is the time for me to go all in and, mitigate my downside. So hopefully this gave you some insight as to what it's like to basically pull out $1.2 million via cash out refinance, pull that money out, and then essentially use that to buy 80 units of real estate in 8 months, which going through the mindset of that being cash flow negative, stabilizing real estate, going through the ups and downs. So hopefully this gave you some clarity. Let me know any questions down below. Please post the questions. Love to answer them. If you want to learn how to buy multifamily real estate, check out my coaching and mentorship program. Check out the description down below. And you can email me directly if you want a discount code. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.